tired of like this. They're tired of the morning show. They're tired of this. That's why you see, there's a lot of reasons why people are losing their jobs. But I think the world is tired of this. Everything is perfect. Shot, angle, cue in. I think people say no because the world is messy. Everybody is messy.
Yeah. No, because like you look at reality TV shows, and I'm like I don't know. Some people talk about it like it's real. I'm like,
no,
please, like you can't think this is real because that was
not.
perfectly lit. That doesn't happen.
No,
spontaneous
it's script.
movements.
It's all scripted.
It's scripted.
And once you figure it out, you're like, you should figure out what. Back in the day, I didn't figure it out because it was like I just was hanging on something. But now it's like that's scripted.
So, that's what I think a lot of AI does. Is it makes people feel scripted. Like especially about when we're talking about voice, it really turns your color, your speak into this just perfect word.
It does.
Easy to read sentences, 4th grade reading level, boring. I liken it to USA Today and New York Times. I love both. I love both. It depends on what I want to do. If I just want to get the news real quick, I'm reading USA Today because I know that article or that little is ending right there. There's no to be continued.
Right.
New York Times, different story.
Something different.
And I think that's what we can get with AI, and I don't want that world.
I get hostility all the time from my students that they're very hostile towards it in a sense. Well, when you're around creators, understand something. When you're around creators, you have to watch your step because they defensive about everything. They're in a category where they've been robbed.
Yeah. I'll lay this on. I'll look at generational because the students of your different generation and then their professions. Let's say creator. I think they are in a unfortunate perfect storm of where AI is destroying so much of what they thought the future was. And they don't own a monopoly on pain and suffering because that's millennials too. I'll speak for my generation is getting a house is almost impossible at this point. But we were promised you get a diploma, you get a house, you get a job.
That's the way it was supposed to go in that order. And now it's like you get the diploma and you still got the diploma and none of the above. You're trying to figure the debt and now you don't know where to move with it. And everywhere you go, they're like, oh, we need experience. And now you're downsizing. Now you're like, okay, we don't need you, but that's what I got my degree in. So now what do I do? Now it's entrepreneurial and it's like, entrepreneur what?
And that's where I get the hostility. I'm not mad at the I understand. Who wouldn't be mad? You've been sold a bag of goods that says this is what's going to happen, and then you're in the middle of it, and JK, your job's going to be gone in 2 years because of X. And
if you don't know X, and they telling you,
that's
you
where,
better know it.
Yeah, that's why I feel like you don't. I understand the hostility, but try to understand what it is and try to take the good of it. I'm a little more of an optimistic person. Okay. So whatever it may be, I want to take the positive because nuclear, both bad and good. I mean, anything, guns,
everything
bad and good.
It's yin and yang.
Water can kill you.
That's right.
It can also save you.
You can drown in it. Okay, you can drown.
It's true.
But we have to see, and I think that's what we're not talking about, the good and bad and everything. I think we need to talk about the good and bad and everything because AI does have a good and bad.
And that gets me thinking about because AI is just technical. We don't talk about the human parts of things, of the why. And I said it earlier about intent. Some stuff that I'm actually working on that I've given you some listen to. I'm working on it, and my intent for it is to make people happy and have fun, and it's really exciting. That's my intent.
Right.
And I think a lot of people, when they then hear that, then they understand because they'll hear it. And when I say hear it, I don't mean literally hear it, but they can hear the energy and fun. Because I'm a person who I've always said, I like things that mean things. Because I've had so many varied experiences that I can then compartmentalize them and then bottle them up and then see them come to reality by AI. Like the website I showed you this morning.
No, absolutely.
It's something I've had in my head, but I've had limits with what the tools I had, and now I don't have those limits.
I hear you. And I think what's happening is too, I think what society is coming to realize that people aren't just one lane people. They are multifaceted. They have many lanes, many talents, many skill sets. And, you know, in the beginning, society was like, okay, you're a bread maker. You're going to be a bread maker for the rest of your life.
Roles. Yeah.
And guess
roles.
what? Guess what happened though? Either that is not around anymore, and now you have to transition into something else. Oh my God, I don't know what to do. I'm dead. No, really. People literally die because they stop attaching themselves and stop doing the thing that they were doing all of their life, and they have identified with it. But that's not who they really were. They was just attaching themselves to a role.
I mean, I think you see that hugely on YouTube right now. So many YouTubers talking about like being yourself, like especially at 40, 50, like I've done this boring job my whole time, making millions for other people. I now find myself at the precipice of like, you know, a robot's going to take my job in 6 months. And what am I going to be
What
left
am I
going to
do?
And
this is where we at. That's the truth of the matter. If let's get real truthful, it's like a lot of people looking at it like, where do I go from here? Because you told me to do X, Y, and Z. You know, I was the chief marketing agent and management of this company. Now you just ripped my job away. Now what am I going to take with all of this skill set? Mm-hmm. Now you're looking at me going, well, make your own, right? Well, how the heck am I supposed to do that when you told me it's a risk involved with that, and then I'm not going to get anywhere? I need to get a job that's working 9 to 5, making a certain amount of money in order to live. So it's like you got to almost reprogram yourself.
Almost deprogram yourself.
That's it.
Deprogram yourself from what you've been.
You know what? Yeah. Thank you. Yeah. Because it's not You got to You got to undo all of that learning and then come and then relearn. Not even relearn. Transition.
It's like find yourself again. Because even for me, I think that's something that I've embarked on because I've done marketing and social, and it's always been behind the scenes.
But Brick, you like to learn.
I love to learn.
That's the difference. Some of these people don't even know about learning. They don't want to learn. It's like, learn, relearn. Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So now, if you have, and I keep telling people, you have to be starving for like, okay, you have to be curious.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's like...
Because that's what I've experienced that, because I'm like, I don't know if I can do this. Let me try. And I do, and I'm like,
oh my God, I did that? Oh, yes. I'm sitting around like, I can do that, right? But it's the curiosity, right? They told us to get rid of curiosity, kill the cat. They got a negative conversation for everything. Yeah. But it's the curiosity and wanting to learn that's going to get you out of this. It's like, it's going to be like, okay, you know what? I didn't really want to do this, but maybe I do have a passion. I do want to do it. Maybe I can survive on my own without. And I think that's what we're embarking on, that people are coming to the realization that they have to survive. And now they got to go on them skills that, you know, the society told them that you ain't going to make a buck on. And now you see people making buck on people, making people laugh. Mm-hmm. People on Facebook, YouTube, just with skits. Yeah. And I tune in all the time. I'm like, click, click, click.
There's a few that I absolutely
There's a few that is hilarious. I look at on Instagram, they are hilarious. They're better than like looking at TMZ or all of that, because they look at all of what's going on and then they come out with this spin, and I'm like, I'm up there like choking.
And that's, again, you say I do love learning. So
yeah, guilty of that. You are guilty. So that's why.
Because I ask, okay, I know this. How can I get there? Okay, then I get there. How can I get there? Okay, I got there. And just little by little. And I think that's what it provides so many people, is the opportunity to kind of crawl your way out of this corporate hole that we've all dug ourselves into.
Crawl your way out of the corporate hole.
Because it's deep.
It goes deep, though, because even in the education, you have to do this. This is the business communications. And it's like, okay, but business is changing.
It's rapidly changing.
So now it's like, okay, what do we say? Because now we're in environments where business, you're talking to a chat box. Huh? What?
I mean, it's innovating yourself, innovating what you do, how you do it. I mean, I think it's just a great time to reinvent yourself.
You have to reinvent yourself. If you're not willing to say, hey, listen, what am I going to come out with? And this is another thing too, not being frightened with what you find out about yourself when you done reinvented yourself. Okay, because a lot of us have a structure already in our mind of how we should be.
I like that about art that you're saying, because I've even got interested. I'm interested in it. I don't know if I'll fully go head first into it, but just making music.
Yes.
Like there's some tools now that you can use that is really cool and it's fun. And I think it also opens up a different part of your brain,
right?
Wakes it up,
right?
And it gets this side thinking.
Well, it is true. You are supposed to. Music does open up the side of the brain. You are using more of your brain. Is like amazing. Your brain is a computer. So when you do music, it does open up that tacit, that agility. And it brings color into
what makes you happy, what makes you sad. Music can do that instantly. You hear a song, and what does it? Music even teleports you through time. You hear a song, and you're like, "Oh, whoa, I'm in Key West. It's 2001."
Right.
Like it does those kind of things, and I think this.
And I'm with who? That part.
I think this is an excellent opportunity to just go on an adventure and find yourself again. Just because it's AI doesn't mean it's going to pan out.
But because
if you remember, Disney invested, I think, $1 billion.
$1 billion, and then they had to bring it. They had to wheel it back.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you got to stop thinking that it's going to be the end.
Again, I think that almost comes back down to like intent. What was OpenAI intending that this would do? When you can then take anybody's image and recreate them in pretty lifelike. I mean, it can fool you on a distant view. What were you thinking?
This is really weird, Phil. That's what happened with Phil. Phil said,
"Oh, you told me about it.
Did he tell you about?" Yeah. And then he showed me it was him, lips moving, but it wasn't
different
Phil's
accent
voice.
Or something like that. Yeah,
totally different accent.
Yeah.
And the lady's like, "Is this you?" And I said, "Don't trust her either, because I'm sure she want you to go on there so it could sound like you." I said, "X her out, delete, block." But it's scary. You can do that now.
I know that I did. When I was talking to him, I said, I mean, listen, I left the dating game, 14 years ago?
Yes.
I cannot imagine.
It's insane.
How? Like, I'd be like, the only way we can date through FaceTime. You have to be on FaceTime.
No, but FaceTime is about the only thing I think is, then you see everything is like reactive instead of proactive.
Yeah.
And that's one of the things I think I don't like about technology. What I don't like about AI is like throw everything on the wall and like, okay, what sticks and who has a problem with what?
I think, I wouldn't say it's a glimmer of hope. I would say it's something, but Meta,
yes.
You saw they got.
Yes, I did see their lawsuit.
And
with YouTube, right?
Yes, both of them. So I think it's a start because we knew this with cigarettes, that companies had lied to us and done
That's
X.
True.
And I know a lot of misplay, or granted, it's some of it's true, and people worried about pharma. Mm-hmm. And I think you get detached when you don't understand how a certain person lives of a certain level of wealth. So how do you know what it is to not have rent, to not be able to get a gallon?
You don't understand it.
You can't fathom it.
You can't even relate.
No, there's no relation, and that becomes a challenge.
It's like me talking to people, and I'm a black woman. It's no way. You know what? You'll never relate. You'll never be able to relate to it. So it's like only thing, and I think that's what we came up with. Have some empathy, so feel from their perspective, right? And I think that's where we were going with this. Just imagine, and that's where education came. Learn a little bit more about our history, so you understand who we are when you speak to us, right? But what has happened is a lot of people don't have empathy. That's a gift. It's hard to teach empathy. Okay, and it's exhausting to teach it as well.
Yeah, I know.
So it's
for those
it's really
it comes
exhausting.
Generally more natural.
It does, and we have to understand. I think too on our part, I'm gonna put it on us a lot. Even though I get tired of like, why it always got to be us? But empaths and people who have empathy and empathy comes easy to us. We almost have to be understanding that a lot of people don't have it.
Yes. Because for me, that works into like an education or intellect, because a lot of things that I'll talk about I assume people know, and then they don't. They have no, like I am talking like I think that they know this and they have no idea.
Blank stare.
No idea of what I'm saying.
And it's like, okay, and then you want to get aggravated, but see what happens when you want to move, you want to like get things going, and that's basic. That's like basic, like from an empath point of view, you don't know that doing X, Y, and Z can hurt X, Y, and Z, and it's like no, and they revert back to something that has something to do with something has nothing to do with the person or humanity.
Mm-hmm.
That's my part. My basis is humanity.
But what I like what you were saying earlier about your view as a Black woman, because that is singular to you. Because you are not all Black women.
No.
You are one that has a specific view that grew up in a certain time, in a certain place, a certain way that is unique to you. And I think that's what people need to realize. AI can do a lot, but it cannot understand you.
That's right.
Everything that you have been.
And you have to understand me to know that.
Yes.
Like, you have to know my history. So if you don't know, and then I think too, as you start peeling back or you start bringing in people's history, then you're like, oh, that's why. Right? But it takes a little bit more leaning into, right? Yeah. So
it's a curiosity though of
true.
Because I was curious to know you.
Right.
When I first met, we were in a room talking about business. And I was like, she seems fun.
That's what I said about you. Yeah. I was like, Rick is named Rick. Rich.
Everyone else is bored.
Right.
You're pretty cool. So
that's how we really met.
And I think that's great. Like that.
I think we
can realize that regardless of who you are, whatever gender, whatever race, color, everything, you may have something in common with somebody else that is completely not like you.
Don't even look like you. And it's like, what is it? My thing is, I get curious, like, what is the common thread? And so that makes me want to lean in. Let's have a cup of coffee.
But that's where you learn, because then I learn about your experiences, where you've been, what you feel. Right. Because I can assume how you feel. I can take instances from my life where I've had things happen to me that maybe you could relate to. Right. Your life is different.
Totally different.
Totally different. And it's good to know that, empathize with it, and know that I can't ever feel that. I can never feel the way you felt. And for me, I view it as a constant. Like, you are you at all times. You can't erase who you are. Right. So
you can't change
wherever you go, that is
going to take you.
And that's your perspective. And that's also how people then treat you.
Then you have to be okay with that someone is not really going to understand where you're from or who you are, and really being okay with that and not hold any type of like to be negative towards them because they don't understand, because that could be a challenge, because it's like, you don't get why I'm like, and it's like, no, because I've never had to be that way. I've never had to.
It sucks. I'm curious, so I want to know everything. So I've read
that's
so
what
much.
I'm saying. And a lot of people don't want to know. They don't want to be curious. Or this is another thing. They want to be hell bent on their thoughts because it's safe there. Because if I have to travel outside,
people don't like to be wrong. They don't like to be wrong.
Right. Then I have to be wrong. And then two, once you know better, you have to do better. And that's another thing too.
It's hard to hate somebody that you know. I think that's one thing for me. Like, I never really announce or make known who or what I am. I talk people.
Yes.
As you get to know me, then maybe you'll find out. Maybe you won't.
You won't.
But then you learn me as me.
But see, it's easy for you.
It's easy for me. I know that.
It's not easy for me because I'm black. No. And you're going to get all black all day. Stop. You getting black all day. Like, you know what I'm saying? I have to tone it down. I have to code switch.
See, and that's what people don't understand about code switching. I mean, and I would say that for a lot of general white people.
Yeah. No, they have no idea what you cannot gonna, we can have a conversation. And if I was going to go out and I was in people who look like me, it's a different kind of conversation we have.
That's where I think I'm fortunate that I grew up in South Florida, because my high school was like 40% black, 40% Spanish. So I grew up with Black and Spanish people. I mean, I'm Spanish myself. Right. I don't look it, but I am very Spanish. Exactly. I speak it. My parents are I'm first generation American. Yes. So I'm brown, even though people may not believe
they don't believe
I'm
it.
Actually brown.
They don't believe it until you start talking.
Very, very light coffee. So, but that's where I also vibe with you.
Right.
Because for me,
so people don't understand what the string is. That is kind of the string, because you understand it. It's not like you come in like, huh, what? You kind of understand. Even if you have to say, huh, what? You understand. So many
nuances. There's so many nuances about culture.
It is.
Because culture's so big. Because I have my foods. and you have your face.
Yeah.
And there's so many little threads, like you said, that are in
it's
there.
the same, and then it's different. I'm like, how do you do that? I've always been that curious person. If I'm working with someone that's Jewish, I'm like, what? You're gonna sit and shiver? Who died? Okay, how long do you sit and shiver for? Like, I didn't have any problems with asking questions because I was inquisitive, and I was like, oh my God, that's amazing. You do what? You make noodle pudding? How do you make that? Can I make that on a regular basis? I'm making it for Easter. It was just, it was kugel. That's what Jewish people call kugel. But anyway, it's just like, I just thought that it was a cool thing. Yeah. And I always thought that, and my mother said that, she's like, I always thought that people who knew a lot about different cultures, they were all very smart. She said they came out very smart because they could talk to anybody. Yeah. That's the key right there.
To realize, because I don't think about it because
but you could talk to anybody.
But some people may be like afraid to talk to you.
They're
just like, weird to me.
I never knew that you was gonna. I was like, what? You know what I got was even more. I had Black students tell me that they were awkward being in my class because they've never had a Black professor or a Black teacher. So it was like, I was like, I've never seen this before. So I didn't know how to act. And I was like, and then when I started talking to them, it's like, okay, she's regular. She's like normal, because I'm like, because I am normal. Mm-hmm. And that's why sometimes I drop the doctor and I say Professor Ty, only because I don't want to intimidate anybody. And I don't want anybody. Okay, yes, I have a doctor. I have plenty of degrees, but I need you to learn.
Yeah, I did my job.
Learn.
My job is to help you.
Now I want you, because I want you to take all of that away, and let's just get raw about what do you need to navigate what you're about to embark on after 4 years is over. Because it's different.
The world changes constantly.
Can I tell you something? I said, you sitting here looking at me? I said, what are you waiting for me to teach you and grade you? So what, you going to wait till your last year and you're going to be like, oh, now it's time for the 3 months before you're about to graduate, you're looking for a job? Dude, you need to be right on it right now. Find out
that maybe you don't like that job. Maybe you don't want to go in there.
You got to start building. You start building.
I think curiosity is something that's very helpful. Like, and that's something I think
good, though.
Once you step out of the box and try something, it becomes less fearful. And,
that's true.
And I try things now.
Like, don't be scared of it.
No, why?
Go ahead, go for it.
What's
going to happen?
I think we were watching, was it Planet Earth? Or no, it's Dinosaurs. Something Dinosaurs on Netflix, I believe. Uh-huh. And we were watching it, and I absolutely love it. Mike probably... It's like,
He was like, are you serious? But he's cutting some Z's.
You look at it, and you look at how old the Earth is, because they have like the Earth spins and 400 million years. 400 million years. We die when we're 90. Like 400.
I couldn't imagine being here that long.
Do you understand how insignificant we are?
Yeah, we are.
Like what we do means nothing. So this is. Be who you are.
So do it. So do it.
Do what you want. Do what you love.
Does it matter now? We all starting at scratch. We all starting from beginning.
I think that's what also people get in the rut of, like, thinking that what life is right now is what life has always been. You know, it think hasn't. That people have gone and gotten milk at a store for the last 200 years?